So let me ask you this, okay? What's the difference? I mean, let's say, for example, okay, let's say there's two types of people, okay? The first type of people is that they say, you know what? I'll save first, then I'll spend the rest later. Okay, I'll save first. Let's say I put away 10%, let's say, okay? I save first and then spend the rest, okay? The second type of people, they will spend first and then they will try to save afterwards, okay? Which way do you think is easier to do? A or B? What do you think? I mean, why A? Why A? No, why A? Why do you think A is easier? Anybody? Go ahead. Why A is easier?
I think A is easier because when you save your money, you have more money to buy important stuff like food,
sure.
pay bills.
Absolutely, absolutely. But what do you think most people do? Do they spend first or save first? What do you think? Spend first, okay? But I'm going to show you why A is easier, okay? A is easier is like this, okay? Let's say, for example, I want to save 10% of this water, okay? One way, A, they'll pour the 10% out, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can just drink all I want. Even I finished it, I'm done because I already finished my homework. I already saved that 10%, right? But let's say I want to save the last 10%, then it gets a little trickier. Every time I sip the water, I got to check, wait, is it 10% yet, 10% yet? A lot of work. You see how that works? And then sometimes I forgot to check, what happens? I finished the whole bottle and there's no saving. Does that make sense? Okay? So it's always easier to save first, okay, then spend, okay? But then there's another interesting relationship between these two type of people, okay? Guess what? B actually end up working for A, okay? Why is that? Okay, let's take a look, okay? A, money comes in, right? Money comes in, they will save first, and then once you have money, they can invest that money, they can work even harder for you. And in the future, and they start to have ownership, they can own a home, a house, they can own a business, right? So then they're wealthy in the future, kind of like Bill Gates, right? But then B, same way, money comes in, but they will have to pay debt. How many people know what debt is? You know what debt is? Okay, yeah, what's debt?
It's like when you're low on money.
Okay, yeah, you borrow money, right? Because you overspend, so now you have to borrow money. You buy things you can't afford. So now you have to pay for yesterday's spending, okay? And then you go spend for today. There's nothing for tomorrow. Guess what happened tomorrow? Okay, you're broke. Okay, so that's why you have to end up. All you can do is rent. All you can do is work for someone who has a business, and that's why B end up working for A. Does that make sense? Okay. So which one do you like to be? You want to be like A or B? A. Okay. So let's do that. Okay. Now there's actually a very interesting way to actually do that. Okay. The concept is called pay yourself first. How many people heard of Bill Gates, but have you heard of Warren Buffett? Anybody know who Warren Buffett is? Okay, I'm not a rich guy, okay? He's one of the wealthiest guys in the world, okay? His advice is this. He says that, you want to be wealthy, it's very simple, okay? All you have to do is pay yourself first, okay? All these financial crises, the reason why we're doing this kind of training is so important, okay? Why we're doing this for the community is because right now we have this thing called financial crisis, okay? 70% at retirement age cannot retire without some kind of government support, okay? That's not good, okay? 50% of people, they cannot handle a little emergency in their life. The average savings is $500. So a little emergency, they're in trouble, okay? And then 33% of people with credit card debts, they can even pay the minimum payment. So their debts just keep going up, okay? So it's not good. And then luckily, the information to solve all this problem are available and resources are available if people know about it, okay? So what we do is in school it's not a requirement for school to teach about money, okay? So we decided to do it as a campaign. So we are running a national campaign to really just educate people out there. So we're happy to receive you today, and I hope you find this information important and interesting, and keep learning about it. We actually have free workshops that you can also, if you want, we can give you some flyer you can come and attend as well, okay? So yeah, this is a great way for your parents to get involved, and then for you to learn as early as you can, okay? So what does it mean by pay yourself first, okay? The reason why we go to work every day You know, why do we go to? What do you think? Why do we go to work every day? Why do parents go to work every day? Why? What is that? Go.
To pay the bills.
To pay the bills. Okay. To take care of who? Us. Okay. The family. So basically, most people work so hard is to take care of their family, right? Their children, right? Their future. Okay. And then that's the reason why. So if the people should get paid, who should get paid first? Right. The family. Right. So that's what it is. So that's all it is. But most people, what they do is they pay everyone else, and then they're the last one in line. And usually, by the time they finish paying everyone else, there's nothing left. You see my point? Okay. So that's why it's very important to learn how to pay yourself first. Okay. So how do you do that? Okay. Actually, there's a very simple way. Okay. This is what you do. Okay. In order to pay yourself first you got to learn where the money is going. Okay. So let's say, for example, okay, all the money that comes in is going somewhere, okay? Do you know where your money's going, okay? So, you know, so this is a concept called budgeting, okay? What's budgeting means, okay? This is very simple. And you can do this exercise. If you go home, you want to put this to practice, you can do it with your parents, okay? Or whoever's working, like, hey, let's try this out, okay? This is actually very important. So what you do is take a piece of paper, right? What you do is like this. You write down every time you spend money, okay? I don't care if it's $1 or 50 cents, doesn't matter, okay? Write it down, okay? Write it down, okay? So what you do is you write it down. So let's say, for example, you bought a pack of gum. It's $2. Put down $2, okay? And then you work it with your parents, like, okay, how do you buy that piece of gum? Like, did you use a credit card? How many people know what a credit card is? Okay, oh wow, I know what a credit card is. All right, okay. How many of you have a credit card already? I don't know. Okay, you got a credit card already? Okay. Not yet. Okay. All right. So either you charge this using a credit card, or you can use cash, okay, money, okay? Or you can use check, if they pay by check or debit card, then write that down too, okay? So do it as an exercise. You're gonna find it very interesting. You can just do it for a week. You're gonna find it very interesting because most people, unfortunately, they don't know where the money went, okay? And they don't realize there's a lot of leakage in money, okay? So as a result, they don't have much left over at the end of the month. Does that make sense? Okay? A lot of times it's not, they don't even spend the money, they just leak it away, okay? So it's important to keep track of it, okay? So write it down. Now, one thing about credit card is this, okay? Let me share this concept with you. You know, before credit card happens, how do people buy things, right? They use money, cash, right? But then you know what happens like this. When people, have you ever seen this happen? They push their shopping cart to the register, and then they have to buy with cash. They look at the item, look at the cash, and then they start putting things away. Like, oh, I don't need it, right? Have you seen anything like that happen? Okay. Something about cash, like people don't want to be part of, okay? But then credit card is different. You have a credit card, it don't even feel like cash. It's plastic, right? So then guess what? What they find out is that they actually create this credit card so people don't have emotional attachment to it. So when they go buy things, they put more stuff into the cart. Does that make sense? You see this shopping cart aisles, there's a whole bunch of gums and candies, magazines, all that. And people, oh yeah, let me get some of these. Because what? They're not using their money to buy, they're using other people's money, which is in the credit card. Does that make sense? They're using credit, okay? So that's what happens. But then here's another thing I want to share with you. When you use credit card, it only makes sense if you can pay the whole thing off. At the end of the day, when you receive a statement from a credit card company, make sure you pay the whole thing off, right? That makes sense, right? But guess what people do, right? When you receive the statement, there's two numbers on it. One is what you owe, your total balance, and the second number is what? The minimum payment. This is all you have to pay, but you're going to owe them. Guess what people pay? The minimum. Why? Because when you write a check to pay the whole thing, even though you have the money for it, but psychology is like thinking about like, man, this is my money, so if I don't want to give them my money, so I give them as little as possible, even though you will have to pay interest on the debt, right? So that's what people do, right? So they end up what? Working for the credit card company, okay? It says just pay the whole thing off, don't worry about it anymore, but that's what people do. So that's why it's important to understand money. Because once if you don't understand it, maybe right now you don't understand it, you don't have a credit card, you can't relate to it. But later on, I hope you start thinking about it. We do have a credit card, repeat the class or something, so that you actually give you the power, so that you don't have to you won't get lost, okay? Because a lot of people end up paying a lot of debts instead of paying off. their debts. Okay, so it's actually very important to understand that. Okay, the second thing is like this. What we're trying to say is like this. Okay, you gotta treat saving like 10%, pay yourself first, like a homework. Okay, so if you really did not do the homework yet. Okay, you're not supposed to buy rewards. Do you know what rewards are? Like toys, something that you want to make yourself feel good. Okay, but if you haven't saved that 10% yet, don't go to play yet. If you don't finish your homework, don't go play yet. Finish your homework first, then go play. Does that make sense? Okay, and that's the lesson here. Okay, now, but then some people they say, well, wait a minute, Kevin. Okay, where's the money?